Hey, good morning, America. Excuse me. Good morning, Viet. I don't think I can say that. Hey, this is V6 Pentastar dude. You know that. Trying to help you out again. Just a lot of people questioning me on my videos about what oil to use. You got all the certified ASC, Mopar people saying just use what the factory used. Yeah, that's what I did in people's cars, and they threw rockers. Okay? Now the bearing didn't go. The metal that's in the center of the bearing went. I have a video about that. Watch it. People were being deceived. It's not the roller bearing itself. The problem is this, and no one wants to talk about it. And it's common in some other vehicles too, and no one wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to glorify a motor and glorify the engineers. Let me tell you, I know a lot of Mopar, Ford, GM engineers. They don't, super impress me like they're geniuses. They're smart, don't get me wrong. But my father-in-law was the head of GM in Motown in the, how can I say it, the emissions. Very smart man. He was previously a medical technologist. Very smart guy. But if you knew some things about him, I sure in the hell wouldn't trust my car to him. That's for damn sure. Okay. Look at this oil here. Supercar Castro 10, 10W60. This is what I run in my Pentastar, and I have for a long time. I have several Pentastars, but there's one in particular. It's been ran since new. Now, I got to tell you, I live where it's very warm. Not 100 all the time, but 70 all the time. Well, maybe 75 sometimes. It doesn't get super, super hot. Doesn't get cold. I think it's the coldest. I've been here almost 10 years. The coldest it's been is like 40, maybe 42. And that's only once or twice. You can sort of guess where I live now. Not that I like living here, and I don't think I'm going to live here too much longer. But anyway, people, the VVT system exerts extra pressure through the cam system, down through the rockers, and through the lifters and the springs. For anybody to say that it just has normal wear and tear, having a VVT system, that's just a dirty, rotten lie from the pit of hell, people. Come on. Through the cycle of the cam turning, there's sometimes it'll advance faster or slower. Well, when it's advancing faster, it's pushing down on those lifters, bearing, and the metal in the bearing, in the center of the bearing, a lot harder. And if there's any oil starvation whatsoever, any, like you go 8 to 10,000 miles on these motors, you got to have, I mean, when I hear people have done that to their car, I really don't even want to work on it. I opened up a 2.7 the other day. Now this kid was from a lower social economic class, let's say mention that. Plus he had some, anyway, he had a 2.7. It was the second 2.7 that I've had recently. I opened up the valve cover because he has idling issues and miss issues and stuff. And I opened it up, and while he wasn't even looking, because he was there, I just put it back on because it was shit full of sludge. And I said, no, I'm not going to work on this car. Sorry, I won't charge you anything, but you really need a new engine. And I had taken a picture of it. I showed it to him, but he just sort of didn't believe it. I said, well, there's the time date. There's my camera. Come on. Grow up, little boy. Okay? So people, when you use, so watch my video that shows about ticking, and I show you a picture of a a roller bearing, a roller um, tappet assembly that's been cut in half, and it shows you where the wear is. The wear usually happens from the top of the bearing, not through the roller bearing, but through the center of the roller bearing, the piece of metal. That's why when these things, when they show you all these mechanics, there's hundreds of videos now, when they show you moving up and down, that's why. It will not move sideways, because that's not where the wear is. Okay? And it's very interesting. Now, it can wear enough, sorry about that, it can wear enough that the roller bearings in there, the pin bearings, they'll fall out. I mean, come on, it will. But most times it doesn't, because the damn thing will make a tick so loud your head hurts, you know. So people usually catch it. Now, I'd say 50% of the time there's damage to the cam, which makes me more money when I replace them. But people, this is what I really think. If it's warm where you live, change the PCV valve like hell. I mean, if you really want to be effective, change the thing every 20,000 miles. Change your plugs at 50. If you think those champions, the 9407s, if you think they last 100,000 miles, come on, grow up. They don't. I don't care if they're iridium. The iridium doesn't wear. It's the rest of the plug that wears, okay? Plus, if you use a lot of chemicals or burn ethanol in it or something, the plug's just plain rust, okay? So a rusty plug doesn't conduct as well, and anyway, the electrode just sits there and rests. So anyway, so this is what I recommend. Change your PCV valve as often as you can afford. You can get some cheaper, you know, STP ones, or I think that's what they're, I don't know. Go on to Rock Auto, they sell them in there, 30 bucks or so. 27 bucks, even on Amazon. I don't necessarily buy Mopar, although I do have a Mopar on mine right now. I've changed mine every 30,000, but you don't need a Mopar. Just, you know, keep the dang thing clean. If you cannot afford to change that thing, which I can't believe you have a $6,000 motor and can't afford to change it, but at least clean it out. Take some brake cleaner and spray it through. You know, there's a little, where the hose comes off of it, there's a very small orifice, just a millimeter or so. Clean that sucker out, you know. Better than nothing. This valve really doesn't clean like that, but, you know, it's better than nothing. Anyway, so if you live where it's warm, you know, change that valve. It's very important. And change the plugs, you know, change the air filter. God, put a Hellcat air filter in this damn thing. Come on. The Hellcat air filter fits in all of them. All the Challengers and all the Hellcats, whatever. It's Hellcat air filter. Wally makes it, and 2482, I think it is. If you go to Rock Auto, they're like 15 bucks. Pretty cheap. You know, that'll make the thing breathe. And anyway, there's a lot more modifications you could do. You get a Hellcat airbox. Fits in those cars too. And I'll tell you, it's just not the hole in the front. It's the issue of the steepness of going down. It's very steep, not rounded. That means the airflow in that air cleaner is going to be a lot higher. So, or put a cold air intake. I mean, that never hurt anybody and sure sounds good. But the only other really thing I absolutely really recommend is thicker oil. I got a really good diagnostic, you know, pad, and I watched this car going down the road. Slow, fast, everything in between. Highway, city. It's 1060. Now granted, where I live it's warm. There's really no cold starts. I actually heat my garage, even though it stays about 70 degrees. In the garage it gets about 60, so I heat the garage. I don't pay for electricity in the garage, so I heat it with electric. I just have a 1500 watt cooler in there. Heater in there. And so anyway, the car never really gets a cold start. You know, I mean, it's warm. I'm even thinking about putting an engine block heater in it, and that would help warm up, you know, everything a little better, even the oil. And just so you know, when these cars start up, just like many cars, it bypasses the oil filter. Oh, I think I'm the first one on YouTube that has said that. But people, that's the truth. Check it out. When there's such high pressure, it pushes that oil filter up, bypasses the oil. Anyway, we're talking 3.6 here, you know that. Okay. But this thicker oil, I've watched it on the computer, you know, my scan tool, and it sort of shuts down the VVT. Not that it doesn't work anymore, it just doesn't work very much. Because the oil's too thick at 60 to run through the oil control valve. Now the solenoid that has a little plunger, now I think I got a video about that, should watch that. No one really talks about that. I think I'm going to make another video. Is people are just not talking about these cars. They know it, maybe they don't. Even the big ones, you know, the Mopar mechanics that are on YouTube, the more popular ones, they like they show you most of it. They don't, you know, the intent wasn't to show you all the VVT systems. So maybe I'll do that soon. Anyway, but running 10W60, it, you know, yeah, it takes a little more oomph to get it up there when it's cold, but the car really never gets cold. If I lived in a colder climate, trust me, I'd be running a lot thinner oil. But hey, the Hellcats run 040, excuse me, and they're supposed to have tighter tolerances. Why did they use thicker oil? Excuse me, no one's talking about that. Isn't that a contradiction? I hear people say, yeah, the tolerance is tighter, that's why you have to use 40 weight. I'm like, you know, do people have no brains in their head or what? I really am just, I watch some videos, I'm like, I tell them, stop making automotive videos. The brakes you're showing people how to do are going to kill people. Take up sewing. I get some nasty remarks. I really don't care. There's only one way to do things, and it's the right way. So I'm not telling you to use 10W60. I'm telling you I do. And I haven't had any problems. I got several cars with over 200,000 running this stuff, but it's all warm climate. You put that in a cold climate, you're screwed. You're going to wreck your motor. But people, you know, running like 0W20, oh my God. This motor needs some oil, man. This motor makes 300 horsepower almost. Some Challengers got a little better, 305. People, it's a very light block. It's all aluminum. The heads are aluminum. It's got an open head design. I mean, people, this thing is lightweight. It needs every bit of oil. Now the bottom end, the mains have 6-bolt mains. It's tough. You're not going to wreck the bottom unless you wreck the top. If you wreck the top, you're going to send those shavings all down through your oil pump. And if you think for a second it's not going to hit the bearings, it is. Everybody's looking for shrapnel in the oil filters. People, don't look in the oil filters. If you got rocker arm failure, it's done it over time. That scraping is very, very, very small. Not that you're going to see in an oil filter. Are your bearings going to see it? Your main bearings? Oh, yeah, you bet. You bet. So people, use whatever thick oil you can. It's going to protect your motor. Okay? Anyway, just my 2 cents. Hopefully this has helped someone. This is the oil I use. I mean, if you're not this brave, I'm not telling you to do it. Do it at your own risk. But, hey, one of my Pentastars, it's in a van. It's a camper conversion. It uses 0W40. It's Hellcat oil. I use the ultra platinum, Pennzoil. Get it on Amazon. 0W40, or go right to the garage. The stuff they sell at the garage, same thing. Get the SRT version if you're that inclined. You'll pay a lot more for it, but anyway. And then use one of the brand new Mobil 1 oil filters, top notch, or get not a PS 7026 K&N, get a HP 7026. One's for professionals, you know, just ordinary engines. The other one's more high performance. They're about double the money. They're about $15. But if you got the best oil filter on the market. That's probably it. And just so you know, all these oil filters, except the SuperTech, I got a video about that. SuperTech's made in America. My God, I think it's made by Champion. It looks really damn cheap. But it is made in America, so they say. But almost every other oil filter for the Pentastar is made in South Korea. You just have to get over it. For whatever reason. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them building the motor, sending it over here. Who knows? But that's where the filters are coming from. Just so you know. So, and this oil does meet the MS 6395 spec. So, anyway, I hope this has helped. And leave a comment and tell me what you think. And even if you don't agree with me, it's okay. But just watch some of my videos, subscribe, leave comments, like, whatever. And just here to help you guys.